Getting to two for today. We got the Miami Dolphins linebacker breakdown. And also, we are reacting to Adam Rank's Dolphin record prediction. Let's jump into this. What is up, Fin fans? Just got done working out. Yes, it is 12:30, but that's when I work out. And I was doing, what did it have me doing? The bicycle kicks and like so much core exercise, and I keep cramping. So if you see me like do this, it's because my abdomen's cramping like a mother liquor. But yeah, we're going to be. The reason for me taking two videos and put them in one is because the linebacker position breakdown or camp position battle breakdown linebackers is going to take me like 3 minutes to do, if I'm being honest with you. And I saw Adam Rank, the NFL YouTube channel 2 days ago, put out essentially Adam Rank's prediction for all the teams, and we all know how some of his predictions are so way off. So I wanted to react to him doing the Miami Dolphins, because again, this came out 2 days ago. Obviously, it probably came out like a few weeks after the schedule came out. It's too early for this, but I thought it'd be fun to do that. So we're going to jump into this. We're going to look at the linebackers. And again, you see who we got here, right? Terrell Dotson, Jordan Brooks, KJ Britt, Willie Gay, Channing Tindall, Daquan Jackson, and Eugene Asante. Now, there really isn't that big of a battle, right? Your starters, your starting four, because they might have five, depending on what happens with Channing Tindall. I'll talk about that in a second. But your starting linebackers are kind of already sealed in their position. Now, I think Willie Gay is going to be a rotational guy in there with Dotson and Brooks. I really do like Willie Gay, especially with the scream he did when he came out of the tunnel for OTAs. And I also think KJ Britt is going to be a nice addition. I think those two guys are a very nice addition to this linebacking core. We saw what Terrell Dotson did on the limited times he was with the team. He had 3 interceptions, actually led the team in interceptions. And Jordan Brooks is a guy who I think should get a contract extension, as that will clear up cap space. Obviously, I think Steelers should be first, but I also think Brooks is another guy who should get a little bit of an extension. Not crazy money, but lock him up for another year or two. But Terrell Dotson and Jordan Brooks, I like that 1-2 punch, and I obviously really do like the depth we have in there, especially Willie Gay. I think he's really going to help. So obviously, your camp battle is between Channing Tindall, Daquan Jackson, and Eugene Asante, who 2 of them are undrafted free agents, if my memory is correct, which I think, yes. I think Daquan Jackson was an undrafted free agent. And same thing with Eugene Asante. Now, Channing Tindall has been with this team, 3rd-round pick, hasn't really flourished. If you're talking about Cam Smith, which we'll be talking about on Monday, and having said that, whatever you want to say about, he has to show up now. And I think Chris Greer said, they're not holding his hand anymore. Same thing could be said for Channing Tindall. Now, Channing Tindall has made the roster because of special teams. He's done well there. But this is where, I want to see what Channing Tindall can do in preseason. Again, we're getting close to preseason. The first game is the 10th, and we're already sitting here at the 11th. So about a month from now, we get our first preseason game, which is crazy. We're going to get our first look at Miami Dolphins football and the depth that you're seeing here. But between those 3, obviously you get the nod to Channing Tindall because he's been with the team, he's been on this defense, and he knows what to look for. But any of these guys can de-seat Channing Tindall, especially if you want to make the team. You got to buddy up to the new special team coach and kind of make the roster that way. But outside of that, this is one of the few positions on this team that I feel comfortable with. Not saying it's the best or it's the greatest, but I definitely feel comfortable with Dotson, with the way he can cover, especially with Brooks, how they can cover these guys. And then Willie Gay and KJ Britt, how they are thumpers and they can really, there's versatility in those 4 guys. So I do like this linebacker group. Again, it's one of the few areas on this team that I'm not as like, ooh, because we have depth there. In my opinion, we have depth there. So that's, again, I'll say it one more time, one of the few positions on this team that I think there's some depth. But comment below. Let me know what you think of that. And we are going to get into Adam Rank's record prediction for the Miami Dolphins. Now, yes, it's going to be incredibly tiny. I will link the video in the description if you want to watch it without me stopping it every 2 seconds. If you want to see all his record predictions for the other teams, because the NFL YouTube channel has all of the teams on there. It's about an hour and 3-minute long video. But let's see what he has to say about the Dolphins. So with his first 5 games, he has the Dolphins going 3-2. I think the Panthers game, him saying it's a surprise. Okay, I could see where he's coming from. Obviously it's too early for me to chalk it up as a win or a loss. I could see where he's coming from, but I don't have much of a disagreement here. Until we beat Buffalo, we will lose to Buffalo. And any prediction I do until we beat them, because it's been, 3 years, we are losing to them. So far, he's not outlandish. He's not, especially with picking us to beat the Jets and stuff, he's not being anything crazy or ridiculous.
It might as well be the Dolphins.
I completely disagree with that one. The chart, I'll let him get through the next. Completely disagree with those 5. Completely disagree with those 5. The Chargers loss, I can see with Harbaugh in the second year, and they added some more players, some more pieces, especially to the offensive line. Justin Herbert in that system again for a second year. I can see a loss there, even though they are coming from the West Coast. I think him and Tua and Herbert, their record against each other, I think Tua has the lead at 2-1. But it doesn't really matter because they don't play each other. They play each other's defense. I completely disagree with the Cleveland Browns. I think they're a hot mess express right now. They got 5 quarterbacks on the team right now. They really don't know who the starter is. I disagree with the Cleveland Browns. Atlanta, I could see a little bit. I could see that one as well. But that one could go either way. Again, Baltimore's a good team, so I don't disagree with that one. I disagree with that we'll win in Buffalo. I think, in all honesty, and you saw the stutter in his face, I think once he saw that he had the Dolphins losing 5 in a row, he was like, I could see them beating Buffalo. It was a pity. It was a pity pick. It was a pity pick. He has the Dolphins essentially 1 game worse than they were. There's some things I disagree with. But sitting here right now on, what is it? July 11th, they can very easily be a 7-win team. They can very easily be an 11-win team. We just don't know. That's how wide of a margin they are when it comes to the play on the field. There's a big fat question mark at a lot of positions on this field, and I'll talk about that as we get ready for training camp next week. But there are some that I disagree with, like that Cleveland Browns one where he's like, someone's got to lose to him. Why is it the Dolphins? He obviously thinks very low of the Dolphins. He thinks that it's a trap game for the Bengals and stuff like that. But you know what? It is what it is. The Dolphins kind of are a little bit of a mess, and the more that people come out and say things, and the more that people look at this team, it is what it is. This is a year you go out and prove it. This is a year that McDaniel, Tua, and Grier have to show it, because this is it, in my opinion. Tua gets hurt again. I think that's it for him in Miami. If they don't make the playoffs, I think this is it for McDaniel and Grier. I know a lot of you guys in the comment section tell me Grier's not going anywhere. He'll still be here and this and that. No, I honestly think that if they don't make the playoffs, and if they start slow, and what Adam Rank had them going is what happens, I think Grier's gone. I honestly think Grier's gone, as well as McDaniel. And again, if Tua gets hurt, I don't think they're going to waste any more time on Tua and the big question mark of, will he stay healthy this year? I think they'll move on from him. So, there's a lot of question marks going into this, but 7 wins, I could disagree. I could see maybe 8 or 9, but it's like 1 or 2 games that I disagree with. But again, that's not my official record prediction. My official record prediction comes out the Tuesday before the season starts. So that's going to be it. Next week, we are talking corners on Monday, the rookies report on Tuesday. I'm going to have a preview video Monday, right before the vets coming the 21st. I'm going to talk about needs going into training camp. I'm going to talk about questions going into training camp. I have a lot of things planned for this next 3 days. I'm trying to get a big collab going. We'll see if that pans out. So I got a lot planned for you guys. Comment below. Let me know what you think about his record prediction. Do you think he was a little underperforming, or do you think it was just about right for the Miami Dolphins? If news breaks, if the Dolphins make a move and they sign a corner, which please, this is like the week to do it before the vets have to come in on Tuesday. And if they don't, then that means they're running with the young guys. I'll make a video. But other than that, I'll see you Monday. Like usual, stay classy. Fin top.